Okay. Good morning, everyone. And I want to wish you a happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope it was productive. Hope you had some time off, got some rest that you much needed, if that's the case. And with that said, as you can see, I have the 2023 success, board here. It's really about the 5 things. And this is really what I focus on in my business. Everybody has their own thing that they like to focus on. But I like to focus on these 5 things. Implementation. Coming up with a great idea is great, but if you don't implement it, it's not going to happen. What's your strategies to make it work? Are you tracking and measuring? That's what this is. This is about tracking and measuring your numbers. Every single top agent I've ever talked to in the history of the real estate business that I've been in, they all track and measure. All the top producers track and measure their numbers. There's accountability. I don't know how many of us have New Year's Eve, I'm going to make my resolutions. I'm going to go to the gym more. And you get that gym membership and you just don't go. I can't tell you how many times I've done it. Not real proud of that, but guess what? It is what it is. But when you have somebody that you're accountable to, like a personal trainer or a workout buddy or somebody that you're working with that's holding you accountable, saying, hey, how'd the workout go today? It's easy to blow off. If it's you, it's easy to blow it off. But if you have somebody that's waiting there for you, somebody that's waiting to be accountable and waiting for the same success and need the same push, accountability is key. So you need to write your goals down. You need to see it. You need to see is believing, believing is achieving. This is the way it is. What's your mission? What gets you up in the morning other than your alarm clock? I want to get to the point where I'm getting up without an alarm clock because I'm so fired up to take on the day. And absolutely your vision. What is your vision? So I would recommend you take this. I've sent it to everybody. Take a copy of it and put it in a couple different places in your home, whether it be at your computer, whether it be by your refrigerator or your front door when you're walking out the door or your bathroom or all the above. But have this and visualize, really get committed to your goals because it is the most important thing on the planet. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go around the room like we always do. And excuse me. And I'm going to welcome everybody. So I always like to, I'll stop sharing the screen so I can see who we have on the call. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to start with the top of my screen, and that's Bob Mangold, our guest. And I love the Homeboss background, Bob, and it's awesome. And just so you know, our special guest is Bob Mangold. Everybody knows Bob Mangold, and this is my mentor, and I want to bring him in to share with you folks, with you guys, get you fired up, because Bob is, in my opinion, not blowing smoke here, is the most committed guy in this business. The dedication that comes from him to help us agents grow our businesses is phenomenal. So I can't wait to share what Bob's going to go over today. But with that said, Bob, I always like to start off with, how was last week, Bob? And what do you have planned to make this week the best week ever?
So for me, I'm kind of committed to creating more and more content. So the good news is over the last, say, month or so, I've been able to create more and more content, and I want to be able to get it out there. And I will do it, guys, through the Facebook group, Homeboss Hub. So like yesterday, I just did a quick video on December 2022 housing reports. And in my opinion, as a real estate agent, our job in this time is to educate people and to know what's going on in our business, right? And so to understand those numbers, because just like always, there's numbers behind the numbers. And so for me, I'm committed to getting out more and more content on a weekly basis. And so there's all kinds of different things that I'm working on, from classes to short video snippets to things like that, to really just educate agents, really. And it's certainly fine that the consumer can run into it too, but it really is about teaching agents what's really going on, because it's stuff that most people don't even pay attention to. Like, how many of you guys even knew that the December 2022 housing report came out last Friday? So a couple of us. Like, that's important to know, because it really is a predictor of the real estate market going forward, and what goes on and how to interpret those numbers, right? And so we continue to hear, inventory is going up, and it is not going up. And so watch the report, watch the video. I did put it in the Homeboss Mastermind also. and I put it in Homeboss Hub. So I'm not going to put that in our regular EXP group because I want to start to migrate over. Full disclosure, guys, I'm hoping that our people will watch more of that, and it helps it rank more, right? So the more people I can get with eyeballs on it, the more it goes out there and ranks. And it's just some of those things at Homeboss Hub. I want it to turn into something where you could meet with an agent and say, hey, this is the kind of stuff that we get access to so that we understand our business better, right? Now I'll spend a bunch of time on mortgages in there because it's critical, right? What's the number one reason that the market slowed down and changed? Interest rates.
Yep.
So we have to talk about that. We have to talk about targeting and things of that nature. So at the end of the day, that Homeboss Hub is going to be the place where I go through and create content in things that I think that real estate agents should know, and then be able to take and talk to their consumer. Like you could take the screenshots from that video I did and just email that out, right? Shoot a quick video and email that out to your database. What does that make you? Makes you the expert. You're the smart one. So
Absolutely.
That's why I want to create more of that content.
I love it. I love it. So Bob, we're gonna circle back to you in just a moment. Let's go around the horn real quick. Thank you, Bob, for that, by the way. Let's share some wins. Any wins, any new listings, any new agents, any new sellers, any wins that anyone would like to share before we get started with today's program. This is the participation part. Any wins? Carla, I know you've had some wins. Kathy, you certainly had some wins. Any wins?
I had 2 closings in my first month at West Escrow, so I'm pretty excited by that. One of them was Chuck. I don't know if Chuck's on here, but it was awesome.
That's certainly a good feat, considering really this year, unlike years in the past where it's the last 2 weeks that people kind of coast through the holidays. When you have that January 1st ending up on a Sunday, that following week is also, I found, a lot of agents took off. So it's like a 3-week hiatus, and to put in 2 transactions, Carla, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Any other wins, guys? I know Kathy, you've got some. Go ahead.
Yeah, our wins was we had 15 agents at our first lunch and learn of the year. It was pretty cool. And working on scheduling a husband and wife team and another agent in a strategy session this week.
I love it. I love it. And a lot of times it's that momentum. You know, we have another lunch and learn this Thursday in San Diego. Kathy and I are doing. Yep. It's the iBuyer and then the Homeboss selling system. So we'll be sharing those tips and tools, how to get more business. Because at the end of the day, guys, I'm in this to get as many transactions across the finish line as possible. I want to help as many buyers and sellers, whatever your why is. But let's think about it. We need to make sure we're employing the most up-to-date, latest and greatest tools to help us cross that finish line with buyers, with sellers. And we need to make sure, like what Bob was talking about, the content that he's going to be sharing with us on a continual basis, making sure we're actually using those tools to get more business. So Kathy, thanks for sharing. Anything else before we get started? All right. Well, what I want to do is I want to dive right into it because I know Bob's a busy guy, and I want to get Bob right involved, and I want to go ahead and talk about, you know, some of the things that are going on in that housing report you referred to, some of the things that are going on in the real estate space and some of the content you're coming up with. And then let's expand a little bit on the mortgage relationship, and let's maybe touch on that as well. And then so let's turn it over to you, Bob, and kind of get these agents, kind of get the team. Let's get us fired up and tell us a little bit about what's going on.
All right, cool. So how many of you guys pay attention to the EXP stock? What's the price today?
Haven't looked today.
What was it a couple weeks ago?
It's like $11.
Yeah, it was like 10.50.
Yeah.
It's 14 the last time I looked, about a minute and a half ago.
13.93.
13.93. Pretty good move, right? Why do you guys think that is?
Consumers are confident in housing right now in the market.
Yeah, I don't know so much that, as there's a series of reports that came out that kind of compared EXP to our expenses compared to our transactions. So let me see if I can find that. And one of the reasons that I want to bring that up and talk about it, guys, is because at the end of the day, what's the best way for you to build personal wealth?
Real estate.
Buying it and investing in it, right? That's one way. What's the other way? It's not necessarily just selling, is it?
No. Other streams of income, passive income.
It's leveraging your time and money. And so at the end of the day, we should be focused on those things. So one of the things that I was working on last night, just a class that I'm going to start teaching, is to get focused on where your money's at. Meaning, why are we doing tasks that don't generate revenue for us, right? So I'm going to share a screen real quick. And these are just, again, it's, hey, Robert, if you can just
yep, your co-host
me as a host participant, whatever.
You're in.
All right, there we go. Can you guys see, all see that?
Yes, sir.
So this is just, it's geeky stuff, folks. I'll be the first to tell you. But at the end of the day, look at where EXP ranks, where the dark blue is the operating expenses of the company compared to the number of transactions. And then look at the rest of the companies, the big publicly traded companies. Their operating expenses far exceeds their transactions on every one of them, right? So if you look at even Douglas Elliman, the luxury one, which one is more positioned to build future value in the stock?
EXP.
It is.
EXP, yeah.
And it's not because I say so, because I'm a homer, or I got good rev share, any of that stuff, guys. It's just basic knowledge. So if you look at those companies, those should be pretty decent targets for us to talk to people, because long-term wealth is going to be built now, right? A couple of years ago, everybody was like, oh, the XP stock is so high when I cap, or when I get it, I don't really get that much, and Glenn split it. And then everybody's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to, I wish I could go back to the old days when stock was what it was. Well, guess what? Those old days are here. Start paying attention to it and start to buy some. You don't have to buy a lot, but start buying it. I don't think the market, the real estate stock, is going to change dramatically over the next couple of years. I'll be honest, till the economy comes around, till interest rates come around, things of that nature. But buy low, sell high, right? We've all heard that. What do most people do in the stock market? Buy high, sell low. That's what they do. I did that with crypto. I was buying crypto at 60,000. I was buying Bitcoin at 60,000 last year. So we all do that. But guess what? I started to buy a little bit a couple of weeks ago when it was 16,000. So at the end of the day, I just want you to understand the economics behind the company, and to start thinking in great detail about what you're doing and why you do it. I mean, what is everybody's long-term goal, right? We've talked a lot in January in the Tuesday classes about, hey, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? Is it to make more money through transactions? Is it to build personal wealth? Is it to build a life of freedom where time is not your, is your friend, not your enemy? Like, get serious about what you're doing, and then ask yourself all the goofy things that we do that we think we're doing to get business. Is it working? And if it's not, what are you going to change? And get focused on what those things are that you do every day. Like, how many of you guys actually post, religiously, consistently, 3 to 5 times a week in social media? Guys, there's your answer, right? You could be the greatest agent in the planet, but if nobody knows what you do, who cares? Now, you can post a mixture of, some personal stuff if you want, but you could do business things, and then you could do market updates, right? Where was I at? Did I do that? Maybe it was when we were in California about a month ago. Or no, I'm sorry, I showed it a couple weeks ago, last week, on the zip code analysis. Like, how many of you guys actually went out and gathered data on that zip code analysis form last week?
I did.
Throw it in the chat box for me if you did it. Guys, if you want to become a market expert, that's how you do it. because I could become a market expert in your neighborhood. I could start doing videos from anywhere on the planet and become the expert in your market. Why not do those things? If you were to ask me if I had to start the business over again, what would I do? I would start with video. Paul Dunn is absolutely cleaning up in this market. He's averaging a phone call a day of a client a day so far in the month of January. 7 days a week. And so I want you to start thinking about the things that you do and why you do them, and then start asking yourself, how can I do this smarter? It's that simple. Because if you'll do it, and then you'll hold yourself accountable. How many of you guys are members of the 12-week year, or what's Norm calling it, express coaching? How many of you guys are doing that? Guys, 95% success rate when you have an accountability partner. That's all you need to know. Who did you commit to? I seen something on Fox Business this morning, and it was a stock picker who in December said on air that if Tesla went under $100 a share, and he's been like bashing Tesla for decades, if it went below $100, he would buy it. So he said, well, it hit like $98. And I said, crap, I said this on air on national TV and committed to Stuart Varney I was going to buy it under 100. And he goes, the only reason I did it is because I committed to that on air. Tesla stock today is about 130. It was 135 earlier this morning. So the guy's made like a 35% return on Tesla because he committed on air to do that. You got to start committing to what you want to get done with a partner. Whoever that is, it doesn't matter. It could be, an EXP agent, it could be a relative, it doesn't matter. You have to get serious about committing to that. The fact that you're here on a Monday morning is good. You know what? Again, one of the things I'm creating is just here's what you do every day of the week. Or just set it up as a weekly. Hey, you're going to post, you're going to take a half an hour, and you're going to post, and you're going to get out on social media and start getting that, but you're going to do it in a different way. You're going to ask questions. What if you posted today, how many of you bought a house in 2022 and are worried your home value is going down? Are you going to get some interactivity? And you go, well, what do I care? It's like they bought a house last year. Number one, it's interaction. Facebook loves that. So if you ever decide to start doing, custom audience ads, well, Facebook and Instagram identifies you as somebody who people like their content. And then I could simply say, well, if you want to stay on track with the value of your home, shoot me an email and I'll set you up with a monthly report that will update you on everything happening in your neighborhood. Now we can put them into our database. Then our database will identify any people in there that are likely sellers. Does that make sense? So when we start doing that, we start asking questions. What's the number one thing holding you back from buying a house this year? And instead of just posting stuff about whatever, how about we start trying to actually engage with people? Here's the thing, guys. What if you started engaging with agents? Hey, agents. Hey, realtors. What's the number one reason people are telling you that they're holding off on buying or selling their home? What did you just do? Realtors will respond to all that stuff, right? Because they're not doing anything all day. They're sitting in an office looking like they're busy. And so they'll answer. Well, guess what? Now you could start that explanation. You could start that relationship with them. Oh, really? Sorry to hear that. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? What you're doing, folks, is you're building interaction on social media. because your content will start being shared more if you do that. And so do it through asking questions. But you got to start asking yourself, if nobody knows you're out there, how will they hire you? And it doesn't have to be expensive. YouTube is your friend. Those monthly market updates that I just shared with you last week, I think it was last Tuesday, right? If you'll start doing those every month and you pick 5 to 7 zip codes, let's say it took you 1 day a month to do that. Does anybody tell me they don't have 1 day a month? And you took, let's say, 5 to 10 zip codes and you titled them all the same thing, 85050 real estate market update dash Bob Mangold. And you put 5 to 10 of those out there every month. Are you going to tell me that you're not going to start seeing traffic and activity? You'll start ranking on Google. Then you do some of these other things like this chart that I have up here. That's from Inman. Is there any reason you couldn't take a chart like this and just shoot a quick video? Hey, folks, one of the reasons I'm so excited about my future at EXP is this is the analysis of the third quarter operating expenses versus the number of transactions. And as you can clearly see, EXP runs their company the most efficient, yet has the highest number of transactions. That's one of the reasons that agents join us, is to have equity in this company and have an ownership stake in this company. If you can have substantially less operating expenses and a lot more transactions, you'll understand why EXP has created more millionaires than any other real estate company in history. Done. Done. You'll get the EXP haters on there. And then all I would do when I get an EXP and all you people and whatever, I just say, stop hating on me because I'm rich. Just like
Bob, I think that happens when you hit a nerve with someone.
Oh, totally does.
Yeah.
So why do you think that hits a nerve? I mean, I wasn't planning on going into this. Why do you think, though, that hits a nerve with people?
Because something in it is true.
Yeah.
Yes. And what does human nature do, though? Like, don't we protect, well, I can't admit that I should have joined EXP 5 years ago. I'd have to admit I was wrong, and I wasn't wrong.
Yeah, last week when I was preparing for the Lunch and Learn, I pulled up some stats of where Open Door was in our Temecula Valley in our area.
Right.
And EXP's #2 in all homes sold in the Temecula Valley for 2022.
Right. And
That
so here's the
says
thing,
something.
is understand people's natural reaction is defensive. The reason they can't admit, oh, Adele, thank you for sharing that. That's very insightful. Certainly gives me something to think about. They're not going to say that to you because they have to defend why they didn't do what they know they should do. Oh, all that bullshit and the EXP, all the agents do is recruit. Look at that chart. Where does it? I don't see anything. I just see the #1 in transactions there. Where do you see recruiting?
Even the haters are eyes on what you're putting.
Totally. And guess what? Those haters, guys, drive interaction with your content. That actually is a good thing. I know you don't think so, but trust me, it's a good thing. Because what is Facebook trying to adjust their algorithm? Facebook, Google, all of them. What are they trying to adjust their algorithm to? Who's an influencer? Who's getting traction? So even if it's negative, it's okay. But you could take content like this, right? How many of you guys subscribe to my KCM? Take that content. There's stuff in it every week, guys. Shoot, just take the PowerPoints, download them if you're a subscriber. I personally pull out the my KCM content, or I will as I start using it, and take that and get that content out. Just read the slides.
Can I make a quick comment? It doesn't happen overnight. It's people think that they post once and it's going to magically appear with a bunch of clients. It takes a long time to just keep repeating it over and over again.
Consistency is the key.
Actually, to gain huge momentum right away, you're supposed to be posting 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. That
is. Creating that content becomes its own full-time job. But the point of it is, folks, is to take and start getting out there. That's why those monthly market reports that I showed you last week, if you'll start doing that, the number one algorithm that Google uses is YouTube. They own YouTube. They want their content seen so they can sell advertising space on the bottom of it. So get that out. When you're doing that, you're recognized as the expert. Oh my gosh, this Adele girl, she's everywhere. She knows all these areas. And then guess what? On Fridays, again, let's say you targeted 10 of those zip codes. You know, things to do in Atlanta this weekend. Go grab 4 or 5 of them and send out a newsletter every week. Hire an ISA out of Fiverr for like $5 an hour to do it for you. And get that out. And then you post it on social media and you do those things. And start getting yourself out there. That will make all the difference in the world in just getting out there. And then the more knowledgeable you are, the better it is. Hey, the reason I talk about housing reports and stuff, if you know all the stuff I could go into that's completely geeky, it's kind of designed, and I want to utilize it that way because then they go, wow, this guy knows his stuff. So in that video that I did the other day, I told you to circle May 10th on your calendar. I won't go into all the reasons, but May 10th, you're either going to see a big boom, a drop in interest rates, or you're going to see negative stuff. It's going to be one or the other. It should be positive stuff based on, you know, reading bond charts and things like that. So I'm not even going to begin to talk to you guys about that stuff. Just know this, in my opinion, and it's not just mine. I know I've talked to you guys about Barry Habib and just other people. I was in this symposium last week with mortgage companies, and the belief is all the same. You'll see us in the low 5s by the middle of the year. What do you think will happen to the real estate market if rates go down to 5 now? Going to go up. Buyers. Here's the deal, guys. The reason that we hit such a turbulent thing is you went from 3 to 7, 7.5. Psychologically, what did that do to people?
Made them uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're my age, you know, you haven't seen 7.5% interest rates. You're just not familiar with them. And so consequently, it was a shock to the psyche of the market. Well, now that people are kind of adapting to like that 6 to 7% range, when they go to 5, everybody's going to be, woo, got to get in. And so we just need to understand that stuff could be there. This time that we have now is set to start taking market share on the real estate side, market share on the agent side. Tell me an agent on the planet that if I said to him, hey, Mr. Miss Agent, if you had an extra $3 to $5 grand a month coming in every month, what would that do for you? And they'd all go, oh, hell, I don't need that. Tell me an agent that would say that.
None.
We have the ability to help them. And here's the thing. All it is, we have to talk to them. Find out if they're open-minded. It's one of the first questions I ask an agent. Hey, Adele, scale of 1 to 10. How open-minded do you think you are?
Very.
So everybody says that, don't they? And then when they get closed-minded, guess what I get to keep coming back doing? Slap them in the head. I was like, Adele, I thought you told me you were open-minded. Adele, I thought you told me you were open-minded. Because everything is closed down, right? But it's time for us to be able to build our own personal market share. You know, we're going back again this year, and we're getting very serious about going back and recruiting again. We truly did take about 1.5 years off. Well, we're coming back at it with a vengeance. And so it's time to build market share. When everybody else is afraid, they're going to be more open-minded.
Sure.
Just know that. Fear will open their minds. So we just need to start doing the same things day after day after day, week after week, to be able to do that stuff. And if you'll do it, you'll see your results change pretty significantly. But you got to do it. If you start doing a lunch and learn and you have nobody show up, guess what? You won't be the first that's ever happened to. right? Catherine, remember in Temecula, we started out in like a coffee shop and like maybe one person showed up, and then 2, and then 4, and then 5, and then, hey, we could fill a room again.
Yeah.
Just how it works, guys. You're no different. There's nothing unique about your experience that way. We've all had it. We all done it. Nothing. Yeah. So Blanca said Armless does a monthly housing report. Personally, Blanca, what we subscribe to Cromford report. It's even more detailed information. But your MLSs have all that data, guys. It's not like, oh, I've created some secret magical data. We just happen to have a company in Arizona called Cromford that it's like $300 a year. And Jesus, they break down everything by zip code, subdivision, cities. It's a geek's, nirvana, but it's all great information. I could take a screenshot and talk about it. Poof, there's your video. Hey, if you're looking to buy in the Buckeye area, blah, 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 blah. Just go through the screens. You don't have to be a video whiz. You don't even have to be on camera if you don't want to. So at the end of the day, start getting out there, start using that data and get yourself out there and start posting things, right? Start subscribing to, say, like local, say, business magazines, like in Phoenix, called the Phoenix Business Journal, and there's a few others where you start seeing some of these announcements, right? Where, like in Arizona, they have is it TSMC, TCMS, whatever they're not, like it's a chip plant that they're spending $10 billion to build. They're going to add, I don't know, I think it's 20,000 jobs, if I remember right. So what do you think is going to happen to the housing around that chip plant? Going to go up. Because they're all good paying jobs on top of it. So guess what, guys? We should be creating content around that. And then if you're in a position to buy, I would buy some real estate around there because it's going to go up. And so we want to be paying attention to the business of real estate, right? What if you did like in the, I think it's the Phoenix Business Journal, if not, there's some other ones where they announce like promotions each month or week, whatever it is. And what if you just did a video? You took a screenshot of the newspaper, right? That Joe Blow from, whoever commercial was promoted to vice president. And each week you did a video just going, hey, I want to congratulate the following people in the real estate business. We think it's important to recognize people that are achieving in the real estate business. And this week, Carla Weichelt was promoted to this and Adele Forbes was promoted to that, or whatever that is. And it has nothing to do with you, EXP, or whatever. You're just like, they go, oh, how nice. And then you tag those people. And so just start thinking outside the box about what you're doing.
Bob, are you suggesting like people from anywhere?
What do you mean people from anywhere?
Like people, I guess, well, local.
Local,
people that are doing well.
Right. So like, yeah, I mean, I used to live in Kennesaw, but I don't remember the newspapers now other than the Atlanta Journal. But at the end of the day, take like those business subscriptions and find those people and just do a congratulations to them. It has
They're
no
on LinkedIn too.
Huh?
They're on LinkedIn, like if you can find that. Like
Same thing. Well, anything that you create for Facebook, Instagram, you do on LinkedIn and the rest, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying that you can find them because, you get
totally.
A notification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The data is everywhere, guys. It's easy. You just have to pay attention to it. You just have to say, hey, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Tuesday and Thursday, whatever it is, I'm going to spend an hour researching content, and then I'm going to spend an hour creating it. Right? 5-6 hours a week. Because my question, if you're not doing that, what else are you doing? And so start getting content out there and start becoming, like when you get recognized as the expert in things, it's because you're getting content out there that's totally shareable. And that's just got to become part of your business plan at this point, to just get out there. So that brings us to the other side of the things that I want to talk about. Like, why did we get into the mortgage side of the business? It's actually what I started in. And I actually know that converting business from the mortgage side is easier than converting from the loan side. So we said, we're going to go out and do that because I can start to teach people how to convert better. I have better tools to be able to take and help them do more business. So let me pull that up. That is currently where we're licensed. So I'll leave that up for a few minutes. What we can do is help take a database. Now we have to be, because, you know, full disclosure, we have to be getting loans from you. Okay. I just need to say that up front. The expenses that we put into this are substantial. But what if I could take your database, put it in place, and it would analyze and tell you who's likely to sell? And then every time that happened, that somebody moved into that category, you would know. And so I tell people this all the time. I actually read something yesterday, and geeky stuff, on your TVs. Why do you guys think that these really big, expensive TVs are so cheap now? Anybody have an idea?
Streaming, maybe.
Nope.
I don't know.
Nope.
Scale.
Competitors.
Nope.
Advancement in technology. ICs have become way more smaller than they were before.
Data collection. Your TV gathers data on you. They actually said, hey, turn your microphone on your TV off because it listens to everything.
I can believe that, because sometimes I am talking about something and then I go to my phone and I have a pop-up about what I'm talking about.
Right. Oh, no, that's not an accident. So here's the thing. I went into all of my TVs yesterday and I tried to turn the microphone off. Do you know I can't?
Oh, wow.
So then I started going, holy crap. Well, what if I unplug the TV? Do you know they have battery backups in the TV for the microphones?
That's a bit scary.
So when I tell you this AI, the truth is I'm not so sure that I want to call it AI anymore. It's plain out snooping on us. They listen to everything. Do you know that Roomba vacuum cleaners do exactly the same thing? And you just think, isn't that cute? It's going around my house and whatever. Yeah, it's listening to everything you say. So while it is scary, it is there. So what if we could take your database of people, and through that snooping, they can identify who's likely to be doing something. So in the videos, if you guys didn't watch the 10-step videos that I did for Homeboss, one of the things that I talked about was once we identify those people, let's say we're doing an open house and we go through the neighborhood and we find whatever the number is, 5, 6, 7 people that are likely to sell. You print off a report, you go knock on their door and you invite them to the open house. You don't say, hey, based on everything that your TV and your computer and your cell phone is telling us, we know you're going to be buying or selling pretty soon. So why don't you come on over to our open house? You don't want to take that approach, right? But you just knock, you invite them. Hey, just wanted to stop by. We're doing an open house on Saturday and Sunday this week. I wanted to see if you knew anybody who's talked about moving into the neighborhood so that you could invite them. Oh, I really don't. It's like, well, hey, I would welcome you to stop by, check out that house so you can compare that house to yours. And I took the liberty of just producing a report for you already to give you a rough idea of what your house is worth. I just thought I'd leave that with you. By the way, if you wanted to, I could set you up every month where you got an update specific to your house and your neighborhood to let you know what's going on with the value of your house. All I really need is your email address. Some will say yes, some will say no. But guess what? Those are people that are likely, that are identified as likely to sell. Guess what? I'm going to have mailers going out to them every 2 weeks for the next 6 months. Like, we can help you with that. That database targeting. How many of you guys actually watch the 10-step videos? Put it in the chat box for me because I can't see everybody's camera. My go-to is a broom. Yeah, I'm with you, Blanca. I'm down to like, yeah, broom and God only knows what. I got to take my TV out of my rooms. 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10. So only a handful. They were loaded with good stuff, weren't they? What's the number one demographic for sellers right now? Last year, I should say last year.
Boomers?
Nope. Number one demographic of sellers last year. 65% of these people in that demographic sold their home last year. They were 65% of all sales, is what I should say.
Boomers.
Seniors.
Yeah, boomers.
Seniors. Yeah. So 65% of all listings last year were age 55 and up. What are you doing to get to that market? I have a way through the mortgage side to get to that market. So play this one out for me, Adele. You call a senior. What if it got even better than that? I got a senior in a 2-story home that has 2 mortgages. Right? So how many seniors actually want to live in 2-story homes nowadays?
Not many.
Not many. Which is why 65% of all listings last year were in that group, in that demographic, right? Hey, this is Adele with eXp Realty. Hey, the reason I'm calling is I have people looking to buy homes in your neighborhood, and I wanted to see if you've considered selling, right? You can use the cash offer to get yourself in the door, if you will. No, honey, I really haven't. You know, we're going to stay here. Hey, just a quick question. If you had a way to take and downsize, or you had to take a way to sell your house, keep a portion of your equity to use for daily expenses, and you could eliminate your mortgage payment. If you could do that, would you consider selling sooner rather than later?
Yes.
So yes. Some will say yes, some will say no, but it's a conversation. And that's done through a reverse mortgage. Can I have my lender reach out? And he'll walk you through what that would look like and how reverse mortgages work. They go, oh, that's the biggest scam. You know, we hear that a lot. Trust me, it's not. FHA loans are governed and insured through the federal government. So they wouldn't insure something that they thought was bad for people. But we'll just set you up with some information. I'll have Ryan reach out and just at least walk you through that. Then at some point down the road, if that's something you'd consider, great.
Is Bob frozen or is that me?
Pardon? Say that again?
No, my screen froze, but yeah, sorry.
So at the end of the day, it's how do we help you with that? And we can do that in every market that we're licensed in. And we should be doing that because guess what? Selfishly, guys, it means our agents are closing more deals, which means that's more rev share, right? And if you're closing more deals in this environment, aren't you more attractive to other agents? Recession, housing recession. What housing recession? This is my best year ever. Talk to Paul Dunn. 20-some buyers in the first, in the month of January so far. What the hell are you guys talking about housing recession? Are you nuts? Let's just take what other people are utilizing and go from there. Make sense? And so we've got tools and systems that we can plug you into to be able to help you do that. We're going to start doing training for our Homeboss members and the people sending us loans to teach them how to convert better. So what did you, the guys that watch the videos, what did you think of the stadium pitch video?
Love it.
Here's what that means. Let me pick somebody who's quiet in here. Da, da, da. Ian Carr, I've never met you that I know of. Have I?
Not sure that you have. Brand new to the process.
Ah, okay. Brand new agent?
Brand new agent.
Ah, perfect. So Ian, unmute yourself. Here's the
Yes,
dilemma. Here's the dilemma that you have as a new agent. Experienced agents have the same dilemma, so it's not anything exclusive, right? But you're a brand new agent. Why would I hire you to buy or sell a home, buy, sell, or invest a home through you?
One advantage, well, I'd say an advantage of being a new agent is, you know, a lot of technology has changed. A lot of things are different. The market's constantly changing. Somebody like me being a new agent is going to stay on top of that and be more up to date on newer programs,
technology,
things of that nature. Technology.
And that is a huge advantage. So my challenge, the stadium pitch works kind of like this, and I'll wrap it up. If I put you in a stadium full of 100,000 people, and I said, Ian, you have 2 minutes to tell people what you do and why they should work with you, and I'm going to instruct them before, if Ian starts speaking and what he says is not of interest to you, you can just get up and walk out. That would be humiliating, right? What do you say in 2 minutes or less?
Yeah, that's a pretty intimidating scenario.
It would be. But guess what? When you can do it, now you got a business.
No, I see that. Like I said, I guess I would lean on the technology and, you know, about the ever-changing market, because I think a lot of people are, especially.
How many other agents, though, would talk about technology and staying on top of the ever-changing market?
Probably all of them at this point.
Right. So what is it about you specifically that you can do to help them?
It sounds like I have some work to do, Bob, because I don't know that I could answer that right off the top of my head.
No, and I don't expect you to. Trust me. And there are agents who've been doing this 30 years, and I give them that question, and they just look at me like a deer in the headlight. Trust me.
Yeah, definitely. That's a tough one.
Yeah, we don't think of like what value do we actually bring to their life? Like, what is it that you're going to do that you can look in the mirror and go, holy crap, I made a difference in these people's lives.
Right. And I know that's a huge thing, is being able to answer.
I know. And it's not, oh, I was able to open
bringing
doors
value
and
is how you
for a house they liked. That's not it. Anybody can do that. And so here's mine. Hey, Ian, I found over the 30 years that I've been doing this, that people who own real estate make massive mistakes. Those mistakes cost them more than $1 million in cash and a home that could be free and clear in 5 to 10 years. When I work with somebody, my goal, if it's okay with you, is to show you how to get your house paid off in 5 to 10 years. And with the money that you saved that you didn't have to pay to the bank, we show you how to turn that into $1 million cash. So at the end of 30 years, you have two choices. You could own a house free and clear. That's the American dream. Or you could own a house free and clear with $1 million in cash. Which would you prefer? Nobody's ever said, well, just give me the free and clear house. So I'm going to start teaching that because it's a mortgage side issue, if you will. Doesn't mean a realtor can't know and understand it. But I started as a lender before I started as an agent. And that process has made me an awful lot of money because it speaks to people, right? If somebody bumps into you in an elevator and they go, oh, so what do you do? You guys go, what? I'm a real estate agent. Right? And then the cross comes up like, ah. I just go, I make people rich. They go, what? Yeah, no, I make people rich. How do you do that? Through real estate. That's all you got to do. Well, what do you do? Well, I show people how to buy a house And with a 30-year mortgage, pay it off in 5 to 10 years. And with the money that they saved that they didn't have to give to the bank, I show them how to turn it into $1 million. Well, how do you do that? Take me about a half an hour to walk you through that. I can schedule a Zoom call with you and walk you through what that looks like. Will I get more people than you that walk on an elevator and ask me that? And that's what having that stadium pitch does for you. So we need to start teaching you how to do that. So if you're in these states, we can help you do this. Because it becomes about that, right? How do you do what you need to do? And that's why I recommend that you guys watch those 10 videos. It's 2 hours of videos, I'll be the first to tell you. But at the end of the day, guess what? You're going to be a lot smarter about what you can do in your real estate business. So 1052, what questions can I answer for you? If you guys want to do that, if you guys want to talk to us about working with us, reach out to Ryan or myself. I'll be, after tomorrow's class, I'll be in my office tomorrow after the Tuesday meeting. So I'm happy to be there. Ed, did you have a question?
Yes. Are you talking about the same system that it was available probably like in 2008, 2009, where you pay your mortgage with a home equity line of credit? You deposit all your income to the home equity line of credit.
It's possible, but it is not that system where you have somebody pay you $3,000 to get an Excel spreadsheet and go get a HELOC. It's not. No, it's not that.
It's not that one.
It's not that. But there is a product that we could have you do that's actually a great one. And you can go to mortgagepayoffblueprint.com and watch that video.
What is the name again?
Mortgagepayoffblueprint.com. And it's a 30-minute video. Watch that. So if somebody's got a 700 FICO score and they're putting 20% down, or they have 20% equity, great loan to do it. You're not buying anything. It's actually a loan that's been offered since about 2005, but it's not what you're thinking it was. That was a MLM where they're getting people to pay $3,000 to buy an Excel spreadsheet, then go out and get a HELOC. It's not that. For those people that don't have a 700 FICO score or 20% down, we have a system that I created literally decades ago in the late 90s on teaching people how to do this without any HELOC, without anything. And so we're currently rewriting that software and just updating it to be able to have that conversation with people. Right. But again, if you were in an open house and, typically what is, the questions we get is, or the questions we ask as a real estate agent, hey, are you working for, you're working with another agent? Like, stop asking that question. If I went to you, hey, Ed, unmute yourself. I'm going to just role play a little bit with you.
Okay.
Hey, Ed, are you guys looking for a home to live in, an investment property, or like an Airbnb?
Home to live in.
So whatever people say, guess what? As long as you didn't ask a yes or no question, right? My favorite is, so what brings you out today? Oh, I was bored shitless. I have nothing else to do on a Saturday or Sunday. I just thought I'd stop at an open house and talk to strangers, right? Like, what do you think they're doing there? But that is a question that gets asked thousands of times. So we do that. Say, Ed, hey, this home is, whatever it is, called $500,000, $600,000. Why don't you take a look? If you have any interest in it, has anybody ever showed you how to buy a house like this, pay it off in like 5 to 7 years using a 30-year loan?
No.
So why don't you take a walk through the house, see if you like it, and then stop by and I can kind of walk you through what that looks like. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
They're going to come back and talk to you?
Yeah, of course.
Now we're going to have some material to give them and things like that. And right. So at the end of the day, it's having a different conversation with people. And we can do that through the mortgage side, right? If we're doing a 3-2-1 buy down, 2-1 buy down. Hey, Ed, has anybody talked to you about the special financing available on this house? No, it isn't. Great. Why don't you go take a look at the house? If you like it, let me show you what that looks like. It could save you about $311 a month on your payment. they're going to talk to you now, right?
Yeah.
Not every single one, but you're going to get a lot more people to talk to you than not. So it's teaching our agents these strategies and these systems, if you will, and what to say to be able to convert more business. And so we can take your database and help you. Like Carmine, I've seen that you are on here. I don't know if you're still on here. You set up your account, but you haven't imported your database yet. So a bunch of you set up your account to do that. You just haven't uploaded your databases, which all you have to do is send your Excel spreadsheet to Ryan, and Marissa will do it for you. But nonetheless, this is about how do we take and teach our agents how to be the most well-prepared agents to talk to people, and to be able to take and stop them in their tracks to go, whoa, I have to stop and listen to what these people are saying. If we can do that, what happens to your business?
Yeah.
And then if we can help you target databases and identify people that are likely to buy and sell, what'll happen to your business?
Do we get compensated for that, Bob?
I'm sorry?
On the mortgage part payoff blueprint, do we get compensated, or you have to have a license?
Yep.
You have to have a license? Okay.
Yep. And honestly, you don't want to do that. So at the end of the day, yeah, but guess what? You get compensated by converting more business.
Okay.
So if you want to talk to me about how we can work together, I'll be in my office tomorrow. It's actually working with Ryan and Michelle. I just do all the marketing and all this stuff. They close the loans and do all that stuff. I just do the training and that. But I'd encourage you to go watch that video, and then Karen put the link in for the 10 videos, homebosslistingsystem.com. It's 2 hours of videos, guys, but I guarantee if you'll do what I talk about in there, it'll change your life. And when it comes to the cost of it, you can ignore that. That's for non-EXP people. Anything else you want me to cover? I took the whole hour, didn't I, Robert? I did.
No, you know what this is, man. I tell you, I've got so many notes, and Bob, I appreciate you jumping on and sharing that just powerful message, man. I'm walking away with, little things like things you can do the second we hang up from this phone call. Go find a new listing that just popped up on the MLS and do a video outside of it. Hey guys, Robert Weichelt here, EXP. I'm in front of 123 Main Street. Get that conversation started. There's so many things, getting to events, going out to new listings and open houses. Bob, thank you so much for all that. I've recorded this, so we'll go ahead and share it, and we'll go ahead.
And hey, one other thing you could do with Robert's idea, call the agent first. Hey, Karen, this is Bob with EXP. I promote a lot of people's listings. I'm looking for more of my own. You got a really nice one at 123 Main Street. Can I just do an outside video shot and promote it on social media for you? Absolutely. Half of them will say, screw you. They will. But the other half that doesn't, guess what? You just now have a conversation with them.
Yep. Absolutely awesome.
So hey, guys, Robert, we do some classes that agents find real helpful. We just did one last week on becoming the what the hell was it called? Not becoming the go-to guy. Whatever. Doing the
local expert.
There you go, local expert. Thank you. Old age is kicking in, apparently. How to become the local expert in your market. If I have some of those, do you want me to just shoot you an invitation? That's it. And then don't send them one every week. Send them one every 3 weeks.
Hey, Bob, I will not be in the meeting tomorrow because I'm going to be in the REO certification class.
Yep. Okay. Joseph,
I was just going to bring that up. I'm actually training the REO certification class. So tell all your friends that want to get more education on the REO space, get that certification. Come join me in the EXP auditorium. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And Bob, I just want to thank you so much for your time. Ryan, Michelle from Nexa, Carla with Cal West, everybody that's on this call. I applaud you for getting Monday started properly. So with that said, I appreciate you all very much. I'll share the video. And if there's anything we can do to help you grow your business, we look forward to it. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you, Bob Mangold.
See you guys.